Hello, my fellow sBitx users, operators, and owners of a wonderful device such as this. I am pleased to announce that I too have been so ecstatic over this unit that I put some time into programming it and taking it a step further. I've only owned this unit for about 3 weeks now, and I can tell you it's an amazing build. If you're questioning whether to get one of these, absolutely. If you're a developer as well, you will certainly love this unit. It performs like a champ and is so simple to hack and code to fit your needs. So let me show you what I've hacked and coded to fit my needs, and perhaps you will find this of interest for yourself. Maybe these new features and enhancements would be beneficial to you and the community other than myself. I've already gone ahead and called it version 3-FD.1 just for my own sake. As I start this journey of programming this further, I'll be enhancing that number, escalating it up. So let's start and log in into the background. Press enter. No need to press the start up front. It's listening for an enter key as well. So as you can see here, the display is quite different. Its color scheme is different. It's not quite avant-garde, but it's certainly a stronger button-esque look with the feel of a transceiver-like environment. So I've taken it upon myself to change the color scheme, obviously. As you can see, the VFO frequencies are even colorized. So let me start off with that. I've made it so there's band privilege color codes presented when you're on a particular band according to your license class. So in the US, that is, I have programmed some script to determine what class you are based on an INI file, the my license class INI file that's in the root. You just tell it what class you have, and it will denote the color of your permission in that frequency you're currently in. At the moment, I am exactly on 40 meters FT8 frequency, which is the Iridium data side of things on 40 meters. The ARRL considers that, or denotes that in red, so I denoted the color in red, allowing you to know you're in data. As you move your dial out of the area, I'm going to do it the long way for now, and you'll understand why that is. It will change once you lose those privileges. So if I am to move out of the data section and in between the voice and data, you can see that by color. But I have another feature that gets you there faster when you want to go to a certain area, and that is touch. You can now touch the waterfall spectrum area to jump to any portion of the display. There's actually a communication being performed here. I can click on it, and it's taken me to that area. Makes it more appropriate in USB, obviously. Actually, I'm sorry. This should be a lower side band on 40 meters, and that's where it is locked on properly. You would, of course, then fine-tune to the communication. That makes it easier to jump around, but let me jump around. I'm not part of those privileges. That's for extra, but this area is my privilege bandwidth of this frequency. And as you can see, there is someone QSOing in this area as we navigate here at the moment. And you can see it will show me that I'm out of the area by color. Changing between the A and B frequencies of the VFO is easy. Just click on it and it'll jump back and forth. A little different than what it was doing before, whereas split is separated here. I've changed the buttons in particular. That, speaking of buttons, where it used to be you had to type or click in the numeric or value section of the button. Now you can click anywhere in the button, even the label section, and it will activate the value option for that. No need to be so refined with your touch of your finger, especially if you have big fingers. I think that would be helpful for most. The power output is a separate differentiated color on purpose, as you see here. I've made it a lighter tone to stand out so that you can find it quicker. There are times you want to drop that power down or raise it up as soon as possible. The on-off buttons you can see are now simulated LED buttons to indicate whether something is on or off. I find that's quicker and quicker feedback of knowing when you have something set on and off. For example, FT8, you can see them on or off. All buttons with multiple options originally had drop downs and making it harder for the fingers to touch them, as I indicated before, if you have bigger fingers, are now pop-ups. It makes it quicker, kind of like more the modern transceivers do these days. So you can jump straight to a mode, for example, without having to find it in a small drop down. This is all Bootstrap driven, meaning that it's a grid system that is responsive depending on the size of your screen, so it'll always lay out properly as well. The third row of the middle section here between the VFO and the spectrum is specific to the mode you're in. Right now I'm in a phone mode, which is upper sideband at the moment, so I can record or stop this conversation that I'm having with somebody or just listening into, and save that at any time into the storage of the Raspberry Pi. If I change this to CW, these buttons are now specific to CW. If I change it to FT8, you'll see accordingly it changes to FT8 specific. Same with the function keys. I've laid them out in the middle. I felt that's much more appropriate for its need. It's right there smack in the middle, takes on the width perfectly, and is easy to get to each button. Macro key is easy to change, not a problem either. The transmit buttons are now big and avant-garde in your face. So if you're in a phone mode, we'll say lower sideband, you have a particular band. I'm not going to converse right now, but if I was to press on the transmission, this would turn a bright green to indicate it's on. But you can see the buttons are big for quick access on a tablet or the sBitx itself. No more hunting and pecking for that little tiny button. I moved the settings, which I added actually, and the miscellaneous tools. I'm sorry, this miscellaneous tools is what I added. The settings, I've all moved that into one gear icon, top left corner section here. If you click on that, you get presented with a modal pop-up window that's tab oriented between settings and tools. You can make changes to your settings as you always were able to, but you can go to tools and access the solar terrestrial data chart, the command line, telnet panel, and band chart. The band chart really is nice in that I've taken the ARRL band chart, frequency privileges, and converted it to a GIF. And you can view that offline if you're not connected to the internet. Very useful. Pan, zoom, and view what privileges you have. The command line and telnet, when you click on them, it does multiple things at once to make it efficient in changing to that mode. If I want to go to command line, it will activate the command line terminal, which is out of view in the bottom area, and it will actually scroll to that view and present the virtual keyboard, as you see there. And the virtual keyboard is up top right corner. The virtual keyboard, I have it placed above the spectrum waterfall display where it's least necessary to view when you're using the keyboard. So you're not losing a capability with the keyboard covering something important. Underneath the spectrum area is the logger. It's there at all times, making it easy to log and look up call signs. The on-screen keyboard is movable, but does not work with touch. If there is someone who's capable of adjusting that, I would be happy to see that revised with such an improvement. The band button, I've improved that a bit further. Instead of having the bands listed across the top, you can now just click on a band button and select the band of interest from the list presented in the modal, similar to these modern transceivers do nowadays. But I've also taken a step further. The sBitx 3 it's a great FT8 powerhouse. I love using it for FT8. So I made a shortcut section specific for FT8. If I want to do FT8 on 80 meters or 40 meters, 20 meters, whatever it is, I just have to press one button and it will do everything at one time. It will take me to that band. It will jump to the appropriate frequency of FT8 on that band and activate FT8 mode if it isn't already activated. In this case, I have phone mode activated in the background, and if I click on 40 meters, it's taking me to FT8 mode, 40 meters view, 40 meter frequency, and the view of FT8 is all set up, ready to go. The colors now work. They work obviously in the app version of the interface on the sBitx unit itself, but the web version was not completed, so I found the code in the web version and completed it so that when you're performing QSOs in FT8, the colors will present itself depending on if you get the response or not. So for example, if I send out a CQ on 40 meters right now, I'll do a CQ here. You'll see it's blue is what's queued, orange is what's being transmitted, and the blue is easier to read. It doesn't record well, just so you know that, but it's easy to read on the screen. The orange is what you're transmitting, and red would be a response. So if someone was to respond to my CQ at the moment, they would come back in red, and then I would complete the communication between myself and the other, and then log them in QRZ and whatnot. In this case, I'm not getting any response, so I'll give it the 3 tries and then terminate it from there. In the meantime, the WebSocket protocol I have not enhanced in any way. That's been left as is. So my next venture is to take that on and perhaps make some changes on that end. But for now, that's left unchanged. All I've done is made changes to the GUI interface and added such features as the touch capabilities of the spectrum and whatnot. The look and feel obviously has been enhanced. These are all subjective to my preference, but I do feel they may be well accepted by many, especially these new enhancements. Let me know what you think and where I should upload this source code. I could certainly make it easy to update your unit with. It's just one folder to replace and you're good to go and have the same updates I have. Oh, somebody has replied. So I will finish this QSO with them, log it QRZ, and continue chugging away and having some fun on this great unit. Thank you, Ashad, for such a great design. This is a beautiful unit, a really good asset to the ham community. 73, everybody. Take care.